So TikTok, of course, took my video down talking about L. Ron Hubbard, talking about some of his connections. Of course, they would. I hate this world for a reason. Most people don't want to say that. I do. People would say that's rude to God. No, it's not. This isn't God. God created the earth, but the prince that runs this world, because I wouldn't be removed or silenced if it was run by the true God. So that's why when people say we're one nation under God, it's like what God? What God? What God are we? I mean, I know what God was in the beginning. I don't really know anymore, especially after World War II. It seems that there were too many different factions that came in here, especially through Operation Paperclip. And, the people in the highest of positions just disregarding, any thoughts to should we do this. Like, there's never any, like, man and their human wisdom is folly to God. It is. Human wisdom is folly to God. Human knowledge is not wisdom to God. It's folly. There's only one wisdom. It comes from God. But man just, oh no, God isn't going to be a part of any of our decision making. And that's how it is for most people. But that's what then gets your country, you in general, into trouble. Although maybe I shouldn't say that, because actually it's when you follow the wicked one that you will be given the greatest of gifts. I mean, of this world, of riches and wealth and all of your temporary desires of material, and, you thinking you know best because you equate your wealthy status with God blessing you, but failing to realize which God is blessing you. That's not me going after rich people. I don't care. I'm just saying, when God said it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man get into heaven, think of all the rich men. They don't care. They don't care. That's like one of those places in the Bible where it's just like, oh, we're just going to disregard that. But there's a reason. It's not because God hates money. He doesn't hate money. He created gold. He created all of it. It's because of what it does to people. They'll sell out. They'll sell out. That's how this world traps you. Really is it has many ways to trap you, but that's one of them. And you may just sacrifice your moral compass for a brief moment. But nobody ever thinking about why are you doing it? Like with Operation Paperclip, the country decided to sacrifice any moral compass it had anymore, and doing that all because it felt that, because of the human folly wisdom of that we can't let the German scientists go, Nazi scientists go get into the hands of Russia. And all I think when I think of all these things that have taken freedoms away, they've all been at the hands, well, we have to do this to be ahead of Russia and China. We have to do this to keep everybody safe. We have to do this because it's in the best. It's like all of it is just, there's no God there. There's no trusting in God, none at all. So when think about what an insult it is to the nation that supposedly is under God, the biblical God, to just go off half-assed, do whatever the hell you want because you think that it's best. And all the while you tell everybody, we're one nation under God. Oh, okay, yeah. Which God did it become after World War II? I'm just wondering. It's like becomes just a tagline, one nation under God. So see, I love America, but I want to love America for the right reasons, not because America is, because there's been many times America has been stupid. Okay, Operation Paperclip was an advance of it, an That is an instance where America was stupid. Showing no faith in God that you claim that God, protects your country. And for a long time I thought, okay, well, God gave us these things. Yeah, he did, but we went off the rails somewhere. We did. And I believe it was after World War II. That's what I think happened. Will the government acknowledge that? No, because the government says, no, we're separate from God. Okay, well, you'll find out one day that it doesn't work like that. Doesn't. Again, remember, the Bible is full of places where, because many people just go by the text and they don't do what the Bible says, which is seeking God all the time. Seeking God even in things that you think that you don't need to seek him with. Do you think our government does that? No, not at all. If they had been, they would have never done Operation Paperclip, because there are some things you should just leave in God's hands. You really should. You either believe that God will protect your country without all of your advancement, or you don't. It's that simple. People like to say, oh, God gave us the military-industrial complex. God gave us this. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think God was looking for the country that was going to have complete and full faith in him, and that he would protect better than your armies. I understand in the Old Testament, God does use the people. He does. That's how he does it. But again, as I always say, he doesn't have to do it that way. Sometimes he wants faith without seeing. In fact, most of the time that's what he wants. God doesn't stay hidden because he's not real. That's what this world loves to tell itself. He stays hidden so that you don't feel like you're forced to do it his way. He wants you to do it his way, but he wants you to do it his way because you want to do it, not because he's over you watching. He is watching, but he stays hidden because if he was, like the millennial kingdom is a time when he reigns with an iron fist. Okay, not to take away people's free will, but there's going to be no more nonsense. All right, and and why do you think that is? Well, it's to try to rein the people back in because they go too far. Like it always comes to this point when the only time God is going to intervene is when the people go too far, just like he intervened with the Tower of Babel. People go too far. So I would say definitely with your science and technology, we've gone too far. And yet, why God stays hidden for so long is because he wants you to exercise free will. He hides himself so that you do not feel pressured to have to do it his way. He wants you to do it his way, but he wants you to have free reign to make your decision yourself. That's why he stays hidden. Some of it is because of the separation, but when Jesus came, I think that changed in many ways. Obviously it did. There was no longer a need to have the separation, at least on a spiritual level. So that's what the thousands of years have been about. Since Jesus, have been, you now have access to the true quantum computer, although I don't want to treat God like he's a computer. But, everybody says, oh, this advanced computer, this smart computer. And it's like, no, God is the ultimate. When you literally have access to God, and everybody does that seeks him, then it's ridiculous for all of this technology. It really is. And had people not been obsessed in science and technology with relying on technology more than relying on God, then in my opinion, we never would have had many of the disasters we've had.